Hello and welcome back to
the Zak
and Buzz
Review. Hi Whovians, we're back.
Yes, we're back. So we're talking about episode 6 of season 1 of Doctor Who, which is
rOgUe. Oh my giddy aunt. This has taken a dive in my. This is bad on so many levels.
I mean, where to start on this?
And I'm going to jump in.
Okay.
I'm talking over you again, and I know people have mentioned about us talking over each other, and we don't mind us still talking over each other. But there you go.
It's just the way we do things.
It's got nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing to do with people being gay or having same-sex kisses on screen. It's got nothing to do with that as how bad this is. Okay, it's that we've got no problem with. That we've seen it before with Captain Jack and Christopher Eccleston.
All these
we've seen
big headlines saying it's the first same-sex kiss on Doctor Who. That is a complete and total lie.
What about Madame Vastra and Jenny?
Exactly.
It's like, we're not bothered. But you see, when we talk about those characters, we were talking about it because it just happened in the story.
It wasn't forced.
And it was secondary. To the story. The story came first. But in this instance...
This was the whole driving force.
This was... How on earth...
This was the steam train through the story.
The Doctor basically meets somebody, falls in love with them, wants to dance around with them, runs around holding their hands, gets proposed by them, and then...
Despite this person threatening to kill him
in the beginning
in an incinerator... And this all happens within the space of a couple of hours, one evening.
But don't forget, Zak, there's meant to be a Doctor Who story going on.
Yeah, so, okay. So, it's another case of insert monster here.
It really was, because the monsters, and this is another big letdown for me. I love the fact that with these kind of shows, with Doctor Who and other sci-fi shows, they make an effort. Now, this is meant to have, like, movie finance behind it.
This is the biggest budget Doctor Who has ever got.
And we have bird people that are basically doing exactly what the Zygons do.
Yep.
The Zygons are shapeshifters.
Yep.
The Zygons zap people and turn into them.
Since when did you associate birds with electricity?
Exactly. And if they'd put the Zygons in...
Yeah,
I would have actually gone, wow, now we're talking Doctor Who.
Yeah, now we care about the fans.
Now we care.
We know what we're about.
Actually put a classic Who monster in.
Oh yeah.
And they do exactly what the Zygons do.
Even potentially, you could have gone Rootons. Rootons would have been good.
Rootons.
Electricity.
Yeah, the Rootons would have worked. So
yeah,
I hadn't thought about
bird
that.
people.
Well, the
really,
bird people have been done. We've had bird people in Doctor Who before.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of them. I think it begins with V, where they're kind of black feathers and stuff.
Oh, the Jocondans.
Okay, exactly. Okay, we've had there's the bird person. Oh, was it Farscape? Had a warrior guy who got a beak. But this is the thing. So they have. I mean, there's been a bit of controversy on the fan sites about having these creatures that have got a beak, which is technically a mouth. For a bird, as a nose. But it has been done before. Okay, we have seen alien creatures that are bird-like, where the costume design, the creature design has been that they've used the beak as a nose and not a mouth. But these creatures have got humanoid mouths, and the costume department hasn't even bothered covering up their humanoid teeth. They've just got normal human teeth. Yeah, you would have thought, stick some prosthetic teeth to give them a different kind of look.
Yeah.
Not just humanoid teeth, because they're meant to be bird people.
Yeah.
So, and then they make that really stupid looking one, which I think everybody thought was ridiculous.
It was the butler one, wasn't it?
The butler one. I think, no.
Really? You went
got
with this?
Such a lot of money. And then when you've got things like Torchwood and Doctor Who, obviously, as well, but when you things like the Weevils...
Oh, they're freaky.
And that's good prosthetics.
Yeah.
These creatures could have been done so much better.
Yeah. I mean, it could have even been Slovenes.
Yeah, well, again, watching...
Because the whole premise is that they're pretending to be people, out of, like, any kind of evil plan. It's just because.
They're having fun. And I kind of got that feeling when I watched it. That was very Slovene, because the Slovenes wanted to... they did take over Parliament.
Exactly, they had a plan.
Yeah, they had a plan, they were doing... And they had the comedy with the farting...
Yeah.
In it, the exchange.
Take that how you will, but there was a story there.
But there was a story.
This is just because
this was funny. I was talking to Tina, and Tina said that she liked this one better than the rest because it had nice costumes. Because it had nice period costumes.
I think it was set in 1813.
Yeah, it was going for, as Ruby said, it's very Bridgerton, you know.
Yeah.
So,
but the problem I found with it's this putting modern values, how we take the modern world, how the modern world is right now, and kind of trying to plaster it over like the 1800s. It's like, what?
Right, but let's have a look at rOgUe.
Yeah.
What we've got is a story which also immediately puts in a new Captain Jack. So he is
template.
He's an American
copy and
actor.
paste.
I'm assuming he's an American actor.
Yeah.
He had an American accent. He's in his ship, which is cloaked, which was the same as Captain Jack's. He's a bounty hunter. He obviously travels through time because obviously he has got modern Kylie Minogue music.
Yeah.
And
much like the bird people,
yes.
They refer, we can start wars with the French.
You know,
and things like, in past tense, they know that has and that will happen. You know. And that's what they want to do.
I assume that they can travel through time as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Which kind of, for me, detracts from Doctor Who again, because the Time Lords, the Gallifreyans, were the gods of time. And they despised the fact that the Daleks had developed time travel.
They've on several occasions stopped the Sontarans.
Sontarans tried and didn't really achieve it.
Some Cybermen in Attack of the Cybermen had stolen a time ship.
Yes, the Gallifreyans, the Time Lords, oversaw the universe and prevented other people from developing time travel. They are so... But now we've got characters that you assume just bounce through time willy-nilly. And he's a bounty hunter. And he is absolutely crap.
As a bounty hunter, yeah.
He has one gun, it would seem. Yeah. And then when they go back to the house to confront the monsters... Where was his gun?
Well...
Did he have a gun?
No, the argument here is that he's fallen in love with the Doctor and the Doctor said, no killing them.
Okay, so...
And I'm like, but that's still your job.
Yeah, I mean, have we not had in Doctor Who weapons that stun? Has this bounty hunter not got an absolute rack of weapons in his ship?
And I mean...
And say, I've got to lose the stun gun instead.
The big thing about the, a triangle... whatever. It's Doctor stepping on stuff again.
Well, actually, yeah, that's an interesting point. So he steps on a mine, which is circular. He stepped on a fairy ring, which was kind of like a web. Yeah. And then he stepped on a triangle. Okay, or the triangle is... Yeah. So now we just need him to step on a square, and subliminally we've got PlayStation going on in there.
Buy PlayStation.
Buy PlayStation now. The new Doctor Who game on PlayStation.
There's actually a VR Doctor Who game.
Oh, there you go. Anyway, so... So, talking about rOgUe, useless as an actual... He's meant to be I presume he's meant to be a hardened bounty hunter. Has no weaponry on him, and they end up running hand in hand through the garden.
If he's got the mine, if he's going to deal with the things with the mines, why have the gun?
Exactly.
Like, if it can kill people with the gun, why use the mines?
You'd think he'd be toting more than just the one gun.
If he was so convinced that the Doctor was the actual person killing people, why not immediately kill him?
Maybe he has to carry out the sentence or something in order to get paid. I don't know. But, molecularly bound to the floor. Yet he manages to just knock Ruby out of the triangle.
Yeah, we've had things being molecularly bonded to other surfaces, even in classic Doctor Who. Okay, I know that from the Dominators. Second Doctor, Jamie, I think maybe even Wendy Padbury, who played Zoe, got bound to a surface in the Dominators. Now, in this, apparently, the same physics don't apply.
As long as you can run in and knock them out of the way, they fall out. So why don't you just go and say, give me your hand, and pull them out the triangle? It's just... There was
proof in the pudding that they didn't actually consider this. It's the fact that if the surface was molecularly bonded to that, her shoes would have been there.
Yeah, shoes would have been there, but
they weren't.
But she was still wearing her shoes afterwards.
Impervious shoes.
And then what else? I mean, there's so much wrong with this story. I mean, there was no story. The story was a tiny little thing going on behind the scenes of this very mad Captain Jack love affair. And then,
that completely hijacked anything about the story at all.
And again, it wasn't Who. It's not Doctor Who. It's not about,
It's acting like it's something that's never been done before. I'm like,
it's been
has. We know. You're just making that the point of the story for what? No reason other than filling out screen time.
Yeah, but in the story where Captain Jack kisses Christopher Eccleston, was that the one where it's "You're not my mummy"? Yeah,
no, that's Parting of the Ways. It was the last, because by that point he had developed an attachment to the Doctor over several episodes.
Exactly, not this whirlwind thing that happens in one storyline.
One evening,
if he's gone from being bounty hunter, I'm going to incinerate you, to now I want to marry you.
And he's like crying over this decision. Then there's suddenly the twist of, oh no, Rogue's going to sacrifice himself somehow instead of Ruby. Find me.
So there you go. We'll see when he gets.
There's the seed for a sequel
when we find the replica Captain Jack. But also it's like we're on his ship and they diminish the sonic screwdriver down to this thing that can just turn on and turn off the MP3 player on the grind my hips. I mean, come on.
What?
I mean, honestly, if you put William Hartnell giving that speech,
one day I will come back.
I will
come back. But until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxieties. All I ask is you go forward in all your beliefs and prove to me that I'm not mistaken in mine.
Exactly. And then, is that where Doctor Who's got to now? It's like, come on, guys. What is this tripe? This is written, not for Doctor Who fans. It is written for people who, and I'm sorry to say this, but people that love watching things like Love Island and stuff like that. It's just not. It's not Doctor Who.
It's perfectly fine to have representation for in things for the modern audience, but to have these kind of like forced agendas that
I have got
are literally a massive detriment to the actual story that's being presented. The reason why we're going there is not to see this. It is to see the story. That's why I'm invested. That's why I want to see.
It's about Doctor Who saving the day.
Yeah.
And ideally, I've moaned about this before, not in one episode. I think to cram it into the one episode has always been an issue with me. That's why they put this bloody underlying storyline in, don't they? Just try
the season arc. Yeah.
So, but saving a race every single episode, or saving the day every single episode,
is a little convenient.
You need to flesh it out, and I miss having things left on a
cliffhanger.
I mean, if they had to do this story, if they had to do this and push it the way they did, they could have at least done it over 2 stories, maybe. But to cram it in one story, it was like bonkers.
It's like all these kind of things this messaging they put in. It's like, if you want to do that, that's fine. But why do you have to hijack a franchise?
Yeah, nobody's talking about.
If you want to do a program about these things, go for it. But I'm not going to watch it. Why do you have to hijack like a solid established fandom? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
It's because they're taking away the story.
Yeah.
They're taking away.
That's horrid. Why do that?
Taking away Doctor Who's his character as a kind of a quirky individual.
Yeah.
A scientist, a professor, a doctor of all things, as a super intelligent being that's been there and done that with everything, and putting in sort of drivelly love stories, and it's got nothing to do with people's sexuality or anything like that. That's the problem. It's the drivelly stories. They're putting it in there and just running like over the top of what hopefully should have been just a good show for all the fans.
Yeah. It seems to be like a selective thing that suddenly we don't care about you anymore.
Yeah, and it's like it's being written for a new kind of very small minority of fans, rather than the wider fandom.
Which is a massive shame.
It is a shame because I still love Doctor Who. I wouldn't be tuning in every week, and I wouldn't be doing a review on it. I'm not like on a review. I mean, there's loads of review people out there on YouTube that just their ethos is as soon as you turn on their review, they are slamming it and slamming it and slamming it, and calling it a load of shit and everything. I just want Doctor Who.
What we are trying to do is not jump on that bandwagon.
We're trying not to jump on the bandwagon, but
it's hard.
It's hard when you're presented with tripe.
Yeah,
you know,
it just proves us continually, like, despite our hope and expectations, it just proves us continually that, like, why should we be invested? It makes us question this every week. It really does.
Yeah. But hopefully, maybe we'll have a resounding success. We've only got, what, 2 left
2
now?
episodes. The Legend of Ruby Sunday and the Empire of Death.
But the way that they presented this particular one, with such a whirlwind of stuff, and him crying again, there was such a whirlwind crammed into this one episode, I fear that this whole underlying story with Ruby is going to be left to the last episode, and then it's going to be rounded off in, like, just again a whirlwind moment, and you're going to be left going, was that it? And we're talking about a show here that is the world's longest running sci-fi series,
or near as damn it, yeah,
and has got to the point where it is got the biggest budget, we assume, to be spent on it. And I don't see where the budget is going.
Yeah,
I don't see where the budget is. You know, it's not. You know, there's no amazing stuff happening. Yeah. You know, it's like no major big space battles. Yeah. Armies of aliens and stuff. You know, it's like Anyway, so there you go. We need to rate this now because we're starting to rant. I think we're starting to rant on this one.
We're getting apathy now. It's just like
yeah. So this is either is it down at the bottom?
I'm going to allow bird shit to be that score.
Okay, so if you've just been shat on by a bird, the biggest alien bird going, it's the giant claw has just decided to take a massive dump on you type of story.
I mean, yeah, they look like the giant claw. I would argue that the giant claw from the 1950s is a better alien bird than these ones.
The antimatter bird. You know,
legend.
Or are we talking about this is Rodan at his best, you know, destroying a planet?
Nowhere near Rodan, sorry.
No. So, when we're talking, I'm trying to think of birdie kind of thing.
Birdie kind of
things, you know.
The giant condor.
Yeah, is this as scary as one of the, what are those things?
Birdemic. It could be Birdemic at the bottom end.
Yeah, bottom end Birdemic. Yeah, so this is Birdemic. I think even Birdemic had better special effects.
I would probably prefer to watch that.
Birdemic. So where are you going to rate this? Well, anyway, if I remember in my previous review, I gave Dot and Bubble my highest score at 4.5. And in this one, I have not hit the bottom in previous reviews.
No.
But this one is coming out with a big bird poopy 0.5 because it had the TARDIS in it.
Mm-hmm. Now
that's it. That was the only thing Doctor Who about it, had the TARDIS.
Not very much.
Not very much.
For me,
I don't know. I'm trying to scrape the bottom.
For me, I have kind of gone very low in the past. I think the official lowest one I've given on these reviews is 1. And like on other review things, like on my Letterboxd account, which I'll probably have a link in the description for this, I've always given them 0.5, half. So I'm going to give it 0.5.
So we're both 0.5 on this.
Yeah.
I'm giving it 0.5 because it's called Doctor Who. This one was awful.
But that's so sad.
This is the most awful piece of Doctor Who I think I've ever watched. It beats Candyman. You know, in what was it, the What's It Squad or whatever it is.
Happiness Patrol.
That's it. You know, even that was more fun.
At least you can laugh at it. This one's just like.
This one was all we could laugh at.
Is it over yet?
Yeah, that's probably it. It's a bit like our review. Everybody out there is going, is this over yet? Anyway, so that's it. That's Rogue. It bombed.
Well, I'm seeing the next 2 episodes at the cinema.
Yeah, you're getting the cinema.
Legend of the Ruby Sunday and Empire of Death.
So you're seeing them both at the cinema. I'm going to watch them on iPlayer as soon as they land.
Final note, who do you reckon Susan Twist is? Do you reckon it's going to be Sutek? Okay. Is it going to be Susan? Is it going to be somebody we have never seen before? Which is my theory.
Well, I've seen fan theories saying that Mrs. I keep saying Mrs. Fig. It's not because it's Harry Potter. Flood. Mrs. Flood is Susan. All right. Right. But I still don't reckon that's the case because Susan would have recognised the TARDIS and Mrs. Flood didn't recognise the TARDIS until she dropped her bags because it dematerialised. Up until that point, she was complaining the neighbour had stuck this thing outside her house. So anybody that knows who Doctor Who is, anybody who has seen the TARDIS, would have recognised it immediately, and she didn't, unless they've made a cock up with their storyline. So, and as far as Susan Twist is concerned, they had that kind of role that everybody has been freeze framing and sticking up pictures where she's got like she looks like Darth Maul. Basically.
Yeah, that does not look like Sutek at all.
So when it comes to the Sutek idea, no, and we've seen no classic monsters.
They have made it very deliberate that there's no classic monsters.
Unless you can count, obviously the Toy Maker, which are coming in, but not in Shooty's Series 1.
No, not in Season 1.
References to the Toy Maker.
Yes.
But we haven't had any classics, and I fear that there is going to be no classics in it. So I think we're going to be seeing a character which actually nobody knows who they are.
Yeah. As much as we can theorise and hope that it's something we've seen before that we want to see again, it's not going to be.
Maybe it's the embodiment of the great intelligence. No?
I think that's just a load of hokum.
I just don't think it's going to be anything we've seen before.
No.
And it's going to be rounded off really quickly, and that's going to be there. But we shall see. 2 episodes. Here we go. 2 more reviews. Baha!
Then it's over. Until next year.
Do you think we'll be able to watch next year's one?
I have no idea.
I know
We're certainly not watching it live.
I know so many fans now that have literally turned off completely.
Yeah. The viewing figures are just to show. And I think
you're going to wind people up.
Okay.
People are going to be complaining at you in the comments, saying the viewing figures mean nothing.
They kind of do.
They kind of do, yeah. Oh, they're out of date. It's outmoded, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
You know. Yeah. Come on, BBC. Come on. Bring us back. Doctor Who. We want proper Doctor Who. You have the full recipe of Doctor Who. You know what
You've done it right for over
60 years.
Over 50 years.
Over 50 years, okay.
So then the peak Capaldi, and even then it was a bit shaky, but after that it just seems to have been a...
Absolute...
What the heck are you doing?
Yeah. Anyway, fingers crossed, guys.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, Whovians.
That we can be proven wrong.
Yeah.
We want to be proven
wrong.
Please do.
Please do.
For the next 2 episodes.
Stick with us, and hopefully we'll have something really positive to say.
If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe to this channel and comment below any suggestions of further reviews you'd like to see.
See you in the next one.